Okay, next we'll hear from Charles and Christy. Now, Christy is online. Yep, hello there. From PGF Services, who are also going to speak to item 12. Hey, Charles, you right, mate?
Yeah, thank
Good
you
on
for
you.
having me. Tenako Takatwa. My name is Dr. Charles Eguba. I'm here on behalf of PGF Services, Problem Gambling Foundation Services. And just a brief background, I am originally from Nigeria and schooled in the UK in public health, came to New Zealand in 2016 for my PhD in public health, which I completed at the University of Canterbury. I have worked in community for a long time, working with young people who are struggling with different kind of mental health crisis, and I also contribute to lecturing in Mercy University and University of Canterbury in public health. So today I'm speaking on behalf of PGF Services, and PGF Services provides both clinical and public health services nationally, and we also have local presence in Christchurch. Permit me to recognize the already established protocols and to send my warm appreciation to you council members for your continuous efforts in developing our beautiful city and also protecting our people, ensuring that we build a flourishing community that is free from any form of public harm. Next slide, please. So the evidence showed that a sinking lead policy is one of the best policies available that take on a public health approach to reduce gambling losses and harm from Class 4 gambling. Therefore, we support the Council's current sinking lead policy with no relocations allowed. Not allowing for relocations strengthens a sinking lead approach by making it harder for venues to move around the community, limiting access to harmful products. And just to respond to some of the comments earlier, I think we have evidence because one of the council members did ask about evidence of if the sinking lead opening up that space does help or not. And he could not provide that. He only talked about pictures or photos. But we actually have evidence that shows that maintaining sinking lead policy will reduce gambling harm and gambling losses by 13%. These are evidence local from New Zealand showing this. And also, I think I beg to differ that we continue to blame victims of the system, of the environment as responsible for gambling harm. I wouldn't define gambling harm as a responsibility of the victim, rather as a precipitate of the system and environment that continues to breed this addiction. I'd like to especially commend the Christchurch City Council's policy team on their work and fully supports their recommendation to roll over the existing policies without any amendment. I must stress, the next slide, please. I must stress that pokies are the most harmful form of gambling in New Zealand, and they are highly addictive and specifically designed to be very absorbing. And most of the clients that are presenting to gambling support services, including us, for clinical interventions are often doing this from their participation in non-casino pokies in pubs and in clubs. And this is more than any other form or mode of gambling. So together with the City Council, we will continue our work in shaping a flourishing community for all in Christchurch, in Canterbury, and in New Zealand. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Templeton, that will be the only time we have.
Kia ora, thank you. I'm just wondering about the comments we've heard on the ability to relocate away from lower socioeconomic areas into more affluent areas. And do you believe that the amount of harm would change, or if the harm would just be in different places?
In fact, I do not believe that it will be in different places. I think it will continue. I think this is a system that is borderless, that has very little to do with if they move to affluent areas. And like I said, stressing the fact that when he was asked, the other colleague was asked specifically about evidence, he couldn't produce that evidence. He only talked about photos because the evidence actually shows that sinking lead policies will actually lead to a reduction in gambling harm and gambling losses by a minimum of 13%. So I do not believe that the shifting, the movement will actually contribute to any positive change. Rather, it will continue because people can move from those different areas.
Yeah.
We recognize that 50% of pokies and venues are in the most deprived areas, but we still do not believe that changing them or moving them around will cause any significant positive impact. We maintain that the sinking lead policy and not making any amendment, not allowing them to make those movements or changes in their venues will contribute positively to reducing gambling harm, and just stressing that this is a system issue. And I think we all agree that for us to make changes in public health, we must think system-wise and not actually looking at the individuals and blaming them for being responsible for the problem caused by gambling.
Thank you. Oh, do you want one little one? Okay.
Thank you. So are you saying that it's better so rather than going to, say, a controlled venue, when, we're all humans and nothing's perfect, so some are managed better than others, and to go for problem gamblers to go online where there is no controls?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just specifically answering the question that changing our venues does not significantly put any positive change within this quagmire, this public health problem that we are experiencing. And I think the discussion on online gambling is a different situation because we know that the 2003 Act is currently not fit for purpose in terms of its stretch to the online gambling space. And it's something that we need to do. We probably need to talk more about that, of making a change in order to make sure that we actually respond to the realities of our time. So discussion about the online space is totally different. We believe that there is a lot of harm happening online, but then we need to respond to that differently. But specific to the issue of moving venues and allowing them to go wherever they want, we need to put a stop to that, and we need to maintain the current strategies around the sinking lead, and that is what we are saying.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Right. Thank you, Charles and Christy, for making the time to come online. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okie doke.